Hey guys, in today's video, I'll explain how to care for the jewel cichlid. These fish are African cichlids, so require a temperature between 74 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I'd recommend heating the tank to around 78 degrees, so it can naturally fluctuate throughout the day and the fish will still be in their natural, comfortable temperature ranges, which is good, that's what we want. As for the temperament of these fish, it varies greatly between each individual fish, right? Each individual fish has their own personality, and that's very prevalent in this species of fish. So that means the tank maze between each fish, what you can keep each individual fish with, kind of vary. But I'm gonna lay down a bit of a just the basics in this video. That's what I'll be going over, but I'm gonna touch on that in a minute here, not quite yet. These fish get to a decent size, a couple inches long, decent size cichlid, so I wouldn't recommend keeping them in a tank any smaller than 20 gallons. And they are social fish, so I wouldn't keep them on their own. I'd keep them in groups of 2 or 3. Currently, I'm keeping my pair in this 55-gallon planted aquarium, but I've also kept them in a 55-gallon African cichlid aquarium. Now for the tank mates. There are a lot of misconceptions about these fish, as well as their aggression and what they can be kept with, so I'm going to try and clear that up in this video, hopefully. I've kept my pair, as I said before, with both African cichlids, which are very aggressive fish, way on the far right side for aggression in the hobby, whereas my planted tank that you're seeing in this video is far left, super peaceful. There's never any problems in this tank. No one's ever fighting. And they fit in with both tanks just seamlessly. They're perfect members of each tank. So I'm going to list a few of the fish from each of the tanks that make good tank mates for these jewel cichlids so that you can, make judgments on your own and decide what you're going to keep them with. These are just fish that I've been able to prove work with my pair. Alright. So for the African cichlid tank, honestly, any sort of African cichlid is going to work just fine. Any cichlid that you get from any of the stores, but any African cichlid. Don't try and put them with American cichlids. That's not going to work out for you. Your jewel cichlids are going to die. There's probably some rare cases where someone's managed to keep a jewel cichlid with an Oscar, but don't try it. It's not going to work out. So anything you can think of, I don't know, I'm really bad with the names of them. Not even going to try, but yellow labs, for example. I've kept my jewel cichlids with a yellow lab and some other similar cichlids. So any African cichlids from any of the Rift Lakes are going to work just perfectly. And then for the planted tank, this is where the misconceptions about these fish come in. Lots of people are like, oh no, it's not going to work. They're super aggressive. They'll kill everything in the tank. No, they won't. All right, they won't. They might nip at some of the smaller fish. I'm going to list a few fish towards the end of the video that just won't work, or that I've noticed won't work. So just wait for that. All right, but yeah. So any of the fish that you see in this tank right now worked perfectly as tank mates. I'm just gonna list a few in case you're not watching the video or not actually watching the screen, just listening to the audio, which I sometimes do. So what you're seeing in this tank, there are tetras, gouramis, there's an angelfish, there's lots of barbs, or some barbs, not lots. There's catfish in this tank. There's both a pictus catfish, which is the small, or not small, he's actually huge. He's the kind of leopard print one on the bottom, black and white leopard print style one on the bottom, and then there's also the pangus catfish, which I think they're also called iridescent sharks. He won't be in this tank forever. I'm going to have to rehome him in a while here because they get huge. But the jewel cichlids were fine with both them, as well as the rainbow fish, which they're the 2 long, sleek gray ones at the top there. Those are Australian rainbow fish. I'm meaning to get a third one for them because they like to be in schools of 3, but pet stores are closed right now, so sadly I can't go out and get that. I'm also good with plecos, which is nice. It's always good to have a pleco in your tank. I like the way they look. They're not great for algae eating, though, realistically. They have a higher bio load in the tank than what they actually take out. They'll eat some of the algae and whatever, but the amount of waste that they're producing isn't worth it, I guess. So don't buy them with the intention of them cleaning your tank. That's not going to happen for you, but yeah. This video is on jewel cichlids and not the logistics of plecos, so let me get back on track here. So yeah, jewel cichlids can go with almost any sort of community fish that you can find at a pet store. These two jewel cichlids that I've had and that you're seeing in this tank are very peaceful and worked out really well in the style of aquarium. If you're going to put these fish in a tank like this, I would watch them very carefully though. Like, you don't want to get one from a store, put it right in the tank and find out, oh my god, it's so aggressive, it's, you know, killing everything. Like I said before, it varies between them, right? Like the cichlids, they've got personalities more so than some of the other community fish. Or I guess I just noticed it more with the cichlids. But these guys are pretty peaceful, but I'm sure you can get some just right pissed off, aggressive jewel cichlids that are just going to go and kill everyone in your tanks, and you don't want that. So just keep a close eye on them. Like when you add them, I put them in the tank and I just sat there and I watched them for an hour. I just wanted to make sure, yeah, okay, they're settling in well, they're not chasing anyone. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. I watched it for a straight hour and then kept an eye on it for the rest of the day, just off and on. And yeah, I noticed there wasn't any aggression, so I felt comfortable with having them in this tank, and it turned out amazing. So yeah, I would highly recommend these fish for that style of aquarium, but I would also recommend keeping like a very watchful eye on them in the beginning. Now, I was doing research for this video. I like to go off of just my own, or not just my own personal experience, because it varies between each fish keeper and each member of the hobby. So I looked up a few videos, a few care guides, that type of thing. One, to make sure I was doing it right, and two, to make sure I had my facts straight, right? I saw a video saying that these fish can go with fish that they absolutely cannot. So I'd like to clear that up. I'm going to list a few fish. Oh, sorry if you hear my brother in the background. He's quite the loud person. He's playing with his friends on PlayStation right now. So sorry about that. But yeah, where was I? I'm going to list a few fish that won't work with jewel cichlids at all. Because either these fish are way too aggressive, too large, or too small to keep with jewel cichlids. So Oscars, I love Oscar fish. It's just not going to work. They're too aggressive. My two are super aggressive with just each other. But they can, they're large enough, they're strong enough, they deal with it. There's nothing too bad between them, but they dish it and they take it at the same time. Jewel cichlids would just get absolutely demolished. The Oscar would just, pardon me, he would just go at it. He would nonstop. He'd kill the jewel cichlid almost immediately. And then other stuff like arowanas won't work. They're too large. They'll eat the jewel cichlids. Severums. I've never actually kept severums, but you know, people keep them with Oscars and stuff, so I'd imagine they're of the same temperament, and that just won't work out for you either. If they're the same as the other African or American cichlids they're kept with, it's just not going to work out. And then jaguar cichlids for sure. Those guys are absolute beasts. That's just not going to work. And then other large American cichlids. So convict cichlids are American cichlids, and that's fine. You can keep them with convict cichlids. Sorry, you hear my dog now. It's great. And then beta fish won't work at all. They're too small, or not too small, sorry. They're too slow, and I guess they are pretty small as well in comparison. But yeah, betas are too small, very sensitive fish. You have to be really careful with what you put with beta fish. I made a beta fish video a little while back, so if you want to learn about beta fish, go watch that one. I'll put a link to it at the end of the video. And I don't know, I might put a cue card up at the top right about now. But yeah, I made a video on them, but jewel cichlids will absolutely not work with them. Betas, they get stressed out, flare up at other colorful fish, and then jewel cichlid will just, fight the beta, and the beta won't win that fight. So, that's not going to work out. And then very small fish and shrimp. Like, don't keep these guys with, cherry shrimp, because they can literally eat the cherry shrimp in one go. Just eat the whole thing. And then, super small fish, baby live bears, baby guppies, any baby fish, it's not going to work. That's just not going to work out. And then some of the smaller guppies and neon tetras and smaller tetras as well. They'll just get eaten. I got lucky. I left my lamp-eye tetras in with the jewel cichlids. I meant to take them out, but they ended up doing just fine. I was a little worried about them, but my pair's not too aggressive, so they left the lamp eyes alone. Jeez, my dog is very enthusiastic about something right now. He's a coonhound, so you know, when you hear him, you really hear him. And then another fish, I might have mentioned them earlier, but Cory catfish. I had Cory catfish in this tank when I first put the jewel cichlids in. Then I noticed that they were kind of, they're baby Cory catfish, very small still at this point. Not quite like they're like impressive adult size quite yet. So they were having a hard time with the jewel cichlids kind of picking at the tails. So I know I said these fish were perfect tank mates in here. They were perfect after I took the not the jewel cichlid, sorry about them on my mind. After I took the Cory catfish out. As soon as I took the Cory catfish out, no more fighting in the tank. It was perfect. But yeah, you know, the Cory catfish, I personally found that they didn't work. I don't know, or baby Cory catfish. Adults should definitely be fine when they get to 2-3 inch mark. They'll be totally fine when they get like the, you know, nice impressive size to them. That should be good. And then also super slow moving fish. Like I had some small mollies in there. You might there's still 2 female swordtails in here, so they've kind of got the molly look to them. But there's 2 leertail mollies in there, and they didn't work out either. For some reason, jewel cichlids just absolutely hated those 2 fish, so I had to take them out and put them in a different tank as well. But yeah, for the most part, absolutely perfect tank mates. There's just a few fish that they just picked out a little bit too much, and I was like, okay, it's not worth potentially losing a fish over it, so I'm just gonna take them out. I've got tanks open, I'm just gonna move them, type thing, you know. So when keeping multiple like types of fish, like cichlids and whatever, and trying to kind of see who can go with what, it's very useful to have more than one tank. Or even just like a super small, like just a 10-gallon, that's what I put them in. I just took them out, put them in the 10-gallon beta fish. I'll make an update on that. It didn't end well with the mollies. So I'll make an update on that. That'll come out next week. Kind of just advising you guys like what not to do, what I did wrong, so you guys can learn from that. But yeah, so yeah, what was I talking about? It's multiple tanks. Yeah, it's good to have more than one tank when you're trying to intermix typical groups of fish. So like the cichlids in the community tank, if I didn't have a tank to put those other fish in, they may have died, and I might have just had to, I could have always just moved the jewel cichlids back. But yeah, it's important to have more than one tank if you're planning on doing these intermixing, so that you can take fish out, take the jewel cichlids out if need be. But yeah, so kind of just to like summarize the video, keep a close eye on them, you know, like check in on them and their aggression often, and yeah, they should be totally fine for you. They can go with almost anything, just not American cichlids, that won't work, and just not super small like nano fish and beta fish, that won't work. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched all the way to the end, you're a legend. That's awesome. I hope you guys found this video interesting and found the information that you were looking for. I know that I really enjoyed making this video. I actually quite enjoy making these videos, so hopefully I'll be able to make them for quite some time. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, please remember to like the video. It just helps, you know, show support, that type of thing, you know. Show me that you guys like the content so that I can keep producing what I'm producing. If you have any suggestions for videos or any questions, please leave a comment. I will answer almost all the comments, you know. If they're a question, you know, I'll respond. If they're just like a nice supportive comment or whatever, I'll heart it. So yeah, you guys have a great day. If you did like the video, please like it and subscribe for more videos. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.